So it's been about time. How much longer did we have to wait? So the news is all over the place. The 2022 Toyota Tundra is finally getting released. But even without having all the details, we do have quite a bit to kind of form an opinion about this truck. Being released in 2007 and having a refresh in 2014, it's been way long overdue for a refresh for this Toyota Tundra. The Toyota Tundra is a fantastic truck and it kept up pretty decently with the older generations of trucks. However, both Chevy and Ford have stepped up the truck game, so Toyota had to do so as well. And with what they came out with, I can only imagine that this thing is going to beat their sales. So let's go ahead and start with the exterior. So, famous Toyota Tundra is a nice, sleek, clean design. Not an aggressive American car because it's not an American car. I think Toyota does a great job at making their cars look kind of executive in some sort of way. And just the same with the trucks. I think the headlights are what really turned me on to this truck. So we have LED headlights, parking brakes, fog lights, all LED. If you look at the new leaked photos, it seems that this truck has running boards going down the side of it, which is not what the other photos were showing. So from what it seems like, this truck is gonna have the twin turbo V6 iForce Max engine with 409 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. So the big thing with the current generation Toyota Tundra, why it's behind its times, because its competition is getting better gas mileage with the same horsepower. That's a big one. And obviously the tech and the updated exterior. Power is a big deal. A lot of people I see on the forums or whatever are saying if it doesn't have a V8, I'm not buying it. Now you don't have to have a V8 to be able to tow and be able to go off-roading and to be able to do truck things. You don't need a V8. And that V6 engine should be paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission, which is fantastic for gas mileage. Now there is talk about having a hybrid engine, which is a fantastic idea, and that is definitely progressive thinking because that's where this industry and the whole car market is going, is to hybrid and electric cars. And of course, we don't know what's actually going to come out because they haven't fully released it. So depending on which design you get, it's going to be different. Probably going to create an amazing off-road rig, how both Ford and Chevy has, but they're just going to dominate it. That'd be pretty cool. But let's go ahead and jump into the interior real quick. So this is a TRD Pro. It has red seats and a red seat belt, making it the TRD Pro. And it has this panoramic sunroof. Now the panoramic sunroof is pretty awesome. It definitely makes this truck step above its competition. We have speakers all around this panoramic sunroof, and from what it seems like from another YouTuber, Kirk, that's probably the famous JBL sound system going all around the sunroof, which is pretty awesome. Now that back window, as you can see, is also coming down as well, which is a big thing with truck buyers. They want the back window to come down. And that back window is pretty dang convenient because if you needed more space, if you have a 2x4, you can stick it into the trunk and through the window into the cabin. If you want your dogs to have fresh air, if you want to grab something in the trunk without having to get outside the car or get your kids or whoever's in the back seat, it's just a very convenient thing to have. And honestly, I don't see why automotive makers don't automatically put that in. So if you take a look at this photo, it seems like they have Apple CarPlay and Android, something a new car should have. And a lot of people have a stipulation of having a 12-inch screen. I never really liked the 12-inch screen. In my opinion, I think it's overly distracting and it just leads to more issues down the line when these trucks get outdated. But in regards to the touchscreen, a lot of people who like these trucks and want the modern updated truck are expecting a 12-inch screen. I still think the AC control should be controlled with dials, not by a touchscreen, because as we all know, these touchscreens get outdated so quick. Here's a photo from Motor One. They have a snippet of the interior and it looks pretty good. It looks somewhat basic but still pretty modern and nice. Looks to be an 8-inch screen and then all these buttons down below. If you zoom in a little bit, it does have AC controls. It shows the temperature right on this black panel screen, which looks pretty good. And these are probably switches that you push up and down to control the AC, which is a little bit different from what we're all used to. So here's a snippet of the new Toyota Tundra that came in literally yesterday. The renderings that we have been seeing did not have this running board. It's hard to say, but I don't think it has leaf springs. which is good. Independent rear suspension is a good idea. There's also talk of it having 3 different lockers, which is also what an off-road truck should have. So that's the 2022 Toyota Tundra, and what this is going to cost you is estimated to be roughly $50,000, which is more than the previous Toyota Tundra, only because it's, you know, updated. So of course it's going to be more expensive. Obviously it depends on which model you get. I'm sure there's going to be models where you don't have a sunroof and you don't have the 12-inch screen, and so that's going to be the base model. And then you're going to have the top of the line luxury model, which is going to have the pano sunroof, the 12-inch screen. Most likely will have a 12-inch screen in order to compete against its competitors. It's probably going to be an extremely off-road model as well, which is definitely something that they should do. And this is Chris AutoMotivate. Always appreciate any respect to another. If you enjoyed this video, then I'll see you in the next video.